Fame does some downright awful things to people. It's a tale as old as time. Hawk Tuah spit on that thing. Man, such a worn out joke, but it's right there. How can I say no, man? We don't need a lore breakdown on Hailey Welch, right? We all live chronically online lives. We know who she is, and we all know about her meme coin and how Hailey just dipped offline for like 2-ish months after making off with like how much money, we won't know. But over the last few days, the situation's changed quite a bit. Hailey's back and out spitting on things left and right, trying to build back her damaged reputation. A leaked episode of the Talk Tuah podcast dropped a few days ago with her guest star being Faze Banks. The subject being all about what happened with Hailey's cryptocurrency. And let's just establish this right now. What we saw in that episode was a complete shit show. Hailey's on the verge of crying almost the entire time, claiming to be the victim of the situation, basically saying that she was duped and told that this wasn't going to be like other meme coins and this was supposed to be a long-term project. Obviously, this didn't end up being the case, and God only knows how many people are out of God only knows how much money. She also brought up that all of her socials are managed by other people in some way to like shift the blame for advertising that she did for the coin. I want to focus in on that part for a sec here. It doesn't matter who exactly manages her account. She was the face of the project. There's no way for Hailey to uninvolve herself with it in any way, shape, or form. Could she have been unaware that this was always going to be a scam? It's a very, very slight possibility, but honestly, I just don't buy it. And unless this is fought out in court, we won't know either. Because it's not like she's ever just gonna like come out and admit to intentionally scamming her audience, if that's what the intent was. When she allowed herself to be the face of the scam, she put herself in a position to be the first person to take the well-deserved backlash. Like I said earlier, fame can do some pretty bad things to you. And I think understanding what fame did to Hailey is extremely important in understanding just what we ended up with. Like I said earlier, fame can do some pretty bad things to you, and I think understanding what fame did to Hailey is extremely important in understanding just how we ended up in what's both the biggest example of natural selection and the most blatantly obvious crypto scam to probably ever exist. In the long list of things I don't need to explain to you, we've got Hailey's origin story. No one knows her, she invents a new way to say sucking dick, suddenly everyone wants to know literally everything about her. The fame effect is really no joke. We see it almost every single day on the internet. The only thing that separates Hailey from the others is that it just so happens to be the biggest and dumbest instance to date that the internet has given random people untold levels of influence. Anyway, fame and power always leads people to unfamiliar situations all the time. It's just the thing that happens. Situations that no one can really be prepared for. And when you've got no one to really guide you through the process and you're surrounded by all these like new opportunities, your judgment's likely gonna get a little bit warped. Nothing I said just now should be like shocking to anyone. We may not ever experience it ourselves, but it's not something we've got to live through to understand since we see it happen all around us all the time. You know, I do honestly feel a little bad for Hailey, regardless of whether or not she set out with the intentions of scamming people or not. What she's been through since Hawk Tuah has gotta have taken a pretty big toll on her. Her shitcoin and podcast have been her biggest move since she got famous, but we'll never really know what all she's been presented with since getting famous. I can't assume it's all been good. I mean, no one in a good headspace gets involved in stuff like crypto scamming. Whether it's greed or straight ignorance that pulled her into the project, it clearly hasn't made her life any better, given everything that's happened to her since the coin dropped. Obviously, the victims of the coin are doing worse, but I'm talking strictly about what her and her internet fame has done to her as a person. That obviously doesn't excuse like any of the things she's done, which leads us back onto the leaked episode of Talk Tuah. So this episode of her podcast supposedly wasn't even supposed to come out yet, if it was even supposed to come out at all actually. The biggest reason for this being Faze Banks. Now in the actual episode, he's being super supportive of Hailey, so why would he have a problem with the episode dropping? I mean, you can see by the ad placements in it that regardless of whatever Hailey's team are saying, production-wise, the episode was clearly ready to drop. Banks wanted out of the podcast because he saw legitimate proof of insider trading going on with Hawkcoin, proving to him that without a shadow of a doubt, this was always supposed to be a scam. It was always supposed to be a rug pull. Banks' initial reasoning for wanting to go on the podcast was to find a way to try and help both the coin as a whole project and to help the people who lost money, which, like I said a sec ago, changed when he saw that there was proof of it being a scam. Giving Hailey some parting words that he feels bad for her and that she should like fire everyone on her team because they're the ones doing the insider trading for sure. Though later on going to say he only wanted to go on the podcast because Dog was trying to clap, which type shit right there, brother. I would do the same thing. So the podcast leaks and suddenly Hawkcoin's value is surging up again. Now, surely this coin that was already rug pulled once won't get rug pulled again. That would literally never happen. Like I was talking about earlier, unless the law gets involved, we're not gonna know for sure whether or not Hailey knew that this was a scam. I mean, what else can she really say besides she had no idea? If she knew it was a scam and she's not going to admit guilt and just like let herself get hit with possible jail time, I really hope the project gets properly investigated. We, especially the people that for some godforsaken reason bought into the coin, deserve to know the truth on whether or not she knew this was always going to end this way. When it comes to whether or not she knew, it's a good time to really dig into the situation she was in here, because the whole thing, the podcast, the crypto scam, everything she's done since she got famous, it's something that we can really dig into and pull out some value here that we can apply to our own lives. Ask yourself this: what would you do if you were in Hailey's situation? I mean, like, can you honestly say if you were given the opportunities she got, would you be able to turn it down? Like for real, I know I wouldn't. I mean, I don't think I would do a shitcoin. One, because it's morally wrong to scam your fans, and two, because when it gets rug pulled, everyone's gonna know it was you. But obviously not everyone's got the same moral code. I think it's good to say that she absolutely did the wrong thing here with this meme coin, but I really don't know if all of us that have never been through what she's had to go through should be the ones judging her here. We all might think we'd make the right choices if we were given the power and influence she's got, but you really never know till you like actually live it. I'm in no way trying to say she's not in the wrong, because regardless of whether or not she knew it was a scam, she's got guilt in this. Just maybe don't judge things you haven't been through. It might be easy to feel like you'd always make the right choices, but power corrupts everyone, and if you think you're above that, well, then I really think you're even less qualified to be in the position Hailey's in than she is. Okay, so power corrupts, and it's something we've all got to deal with in our own lives. Got it. What's this got to do with shitcoins and sucking dick? Let's be real. Regardless of the intentions, Hailey bit off way more than she could chew here. And you know, when you're given such a big plate, what else can you really do besides try and eat? I mean, she never asked for all the fame she was given, but when she got it, she did what any sane person would try to do and turn it into something to set her up for life. Nothing unreasonable about that. It starts to get derailed with the methods she used to set herself up. If, and this is a very heavy if, she truly was unaware of the intentions behind Hawk Coin and thought it was going to be a way that she could set her and all of her fans up on something good and just wanting to use her platform to help others, the like bare minimum she could have done to avoid all of this just completely going to shit was like the minimum amount of digging to see that meme coins never really end this way. I honestly don't know what to say here, man. I mean, part of me feels bad for her in the situation she's gotten herself into, but like slowing your roll at the pace you were taking all your projects at could have made the situation a whole lot better. But then again, I don't exactly want to judge her for the way that she's been handling all this, because I really don't know if I'd have been able to handle her situation any better. It's a tough place for anyone to be. Lots of coulda, shoulda, wouldas. Hailey Welch, Hawk Tuah, podcasting, and crypto scamming. At the end of the day, none of it really matters besides one thing. What can we take away from this situation? Is there something that any of us can really learn from this? We have power in lots of different facets of our lives. Don't let it get to your head though. Odds are none of us are going to end up as popular as Hailey, but that doesn't mean there's nothing to be learned from what we've seen her go through. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, whether you're well-intentioned or not. We all have some facets of power in our lives. That could be in social life, work life, anything like that. And we're constantly put into situations that force us to make hard choices. It can be easy to take the simplest path to get ahead in life, but the easiest options oftentimes come with consequences. Everyone wants to get ahead in life. We're all like goddamn Hawk Tuah girl in that way. Each of us spitting on our own individual things in hopes of making life better. But in your never-ending pursuit of more, avoid making Hailey's mistakes. Don't let opportunism throw you off from making the right choices to get ahead. Fail to really understand that, and you might end up having life spitting back on you, and who knows how bad that could get. It might be even worse than you think. It might bite too, and nobody wants that. God willing, I will never have to make a video on Hawk Tuah ever again. I mean, really, some of the things here are just so lowbrow, even for me. But that's about all I've got to say. I'm currently rotting in low sub count purgatory, so if you've made it this far, please help me. I need subscribers. The endless void of 3-digit sub count is suffocating. Come and save me. Okay, I'm done here. Have a good day, kids.